watching my video. My name is Roel. I am a health and nutrition coach and a diabetes practitioner based near Manchester in the UK. And I post these videos once a week to help to motivate you to be as healthy as you can be. And at the end of these videos or at the end of my talk about health related stuff, I always share a little bit about my crafting this week, mainly knitting and crocheting, sometimes a little bit of drawing, and after that I just stick on a bit of photos and videos of stuff I've been up to this week. And that's nothing too exciting this week. I've been working really hard, and I like that. I'm not complaining. I like my work as a diabetes practitioner. Talk to hundreds of people, and yeah, I don't mind working long days, but it does make time fly by, and I can't, I know it's such a cliche thing to say, but sometimes I think it's really scary how fast time is going, and I feel I need to take a little bit more time taking in the moment rather than chasing my tail. Today I want to talk about something a little bit related actually, and it's one of the simplest but most powerful reminders I think to look after your health and well-being, and it's self-care, and it's about putting your own oxygen mask on first before you help anybody else. And when you go on a plane, you know that that bit that they talk you through before they take off. The crew shows you all the safety procedures, and they always say that in the event the oxygen masks drop down, you should put your own mask on first before you help children or anyone else around you. And yeah, why is that? Because if you try to help others first and you lose consciousness from the lack of oxygen, then you'd be no good to anyone. And that simple message is, I think, a really good metaphor for life. To take care of others, to do good work, and to show up how you want to show up, you have to take care of yourself first. And not many of us do that. And it's not about being selfish, it's about making it sustainable. Because so many put ourselves at the bottom of the list. We take care of our family, our friends, our colleagues, and responsibilities. And by the time we start thinking about what we need ourselves, there's no energy left, because you spend it all on other people. And the problem is, if you keep doing that, then eventually there's a risk that you burn out. Maybe you'll become exhausted, resentful even, or maybe you start feeling like you've lost yourself a little bit in the process. And when you're constantly giving without recharging, your emotional and physical oxygen runs out, and yeah, that's no good for anyone. So taking care of yourself is simply making sure that your tank isn't empty, that it's what allows you to give more to other people, and be more patient, and also with more joy. Because if you feel a little bit resentful, then obviously, even if you then do care for other people, it's not going to maybe come over as joyful. So it's definitely not a luxury to look after yourself. Self-care sounds a bit indulgent, doesn't it? Like going to a spa. But yeah, and I think it's easy to dismiss self-care as a luxury, but it's not something that you just do when there's time. It's a foundation. It's something that you have to do to be successful and be happy. When you eat well, and you sleep enough, and you move your body regularly, you're not being selfish or indulgent, you're maintaining the machine that keeps you functioning, and that's really important. And when you say no to things that zap your energy and drain you, you're not being unpleasant or lazy. You're just preventing burnout, so you can keep showing up for everyone and yourself, of course. Self-care is what allows you to be the best version of yourself, for you and for everyone around you. So how do we do that then in practice? That's always the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's always good to know this stuff, but we also have to implement it to see the results. So here are a few simple practical ways to implement that. Number one, of course, guess what it is? Nourish your body. Make sure you eat healthy, nourishing whole foods most of the time. 80-20, if you're 80% good, you could be 20% naughty. Meals that give you steady energy rather than these sugar spikes and crashes. And you don't have to be perfect, just find a bit of balance and make sure that you get the nourishment that you need. 2, prioritize sleep. Super important. And yeah, I mean, if you watch my videos before, then you know that is my weakness. I don't sleep enough. I go to bed too late. And but it is our body's natural repair system, and we do need to sleep to function optimally. 7-8 hours a night, if you can, is perfect. And yeah, I am aware that if I don't get my 7 hours sleep, I don't feel as good as I do when I do. It feels different. Mentally, I feel different. You have more energy. You don't feel as hungry or peckish. Decision making so much better when you're not tired. Your motivation is higher. And yeah, in my case, definitely, I think I'm nicer when I've had enough sleep. So prioritize that and do whatever you can. You may not be able to always get 7 hours, but yeah, try your best to get the best sleep you can. Moving, really important. Move regularly. Personally, I won't go to the gym or do another workout like running, or I love doing Tabatas at home. Tabatas is high intensity interval training, 4 minutes, and I do 5 of those, so that's 20 minutes where you work really hard for 20 seconds and you have 10 seconds rest and you alternate that. But yeah, I probably work out 6 days, 5-6 days a week. And it's not because I'm super disciplined, but because I know, well, I do actually enjoy it as well, more afterwards than beforehand or during. But I know how important it is and how much better I feel afterwards. I feel calmer, I feel more focused, and I'm proud that I've done something for myself. And of course, you know, for your physical and mental health, it is a very good thing to do. So try to move as much as possible. And next tip is about boundaries. Set boundaries. Start saying no a little bit more often. I know it's difficult. I find it really difficult. But I have started to say no more often, and it's not because I don't care, but because I know that if I say yes to everything, then I'll be overwhelmed, and it will just be too much, and then I can't give as much as I want to. Even then, the things that, you know, all the things that I do, I'm not going to do them as well as I want them to do. And learning to say no kindly, obviously, don't say it in a rude way, is one of the healthiest skills that you can acquire, I think. Letting things out, that's also part of self-care. When you feel worried or frustrated or a bit down, talk it out with someone. And it's not always easy because you don't want to burden other people, or maybe you're worried what the implications are of you doing that. But yeah, so I mean, maybe, you know, choose someone wisely when you're going to let it out. But I think it's much better than bottling it up, and that's when you start to build resentment, and that's such a bad vibe when you feel resentful and you think, oh, I'm so busy, I'm doing everything. And talking in a calm way about your feelings, about your worries, to a level-headed person can really help you to process your emotions before they build up and, you know, maybe blow up even. Now, what I like about self-care is it has a ripple effect. When you take care of yourself, something amazing happens. You naturally start to show up better for others. You have more patience with other people, you're more focused, you're more creative, you listen better, you smile more, and you will handle challenges better, you make better decisions. and you know, these challenges and difficult situations, you probably handle them with a bit more grace than you would do if you're overwhelmed. So self-care creates that kind of ripple effect. And you can lead by example, showing others that it's okay and necessary to take time for your own health and happiness, because if we don't do it, then we make other people feel that they can't do it either. And I don't like that. I see that sometimes in work environments where you get a manager who, you know, feels it's okay to send people emails at 6 o'clock in the morning, and never takes time to look after themselves, and that then makes you feel that you can't do that either. So by you doing that, you also allow other people to do that, and you know, that can only be a good thing. Yeah, and that's how you make a real lasting difference, by not by running yourself in the ground, but giving to others from a full tank. So as you go through your week, remember that image from the plane. You put your oxygen mask on first, and you can't help anyone if you're running on empty. Take a deep breath, ask yourself, what's the one small thing that I can do today to take care of me? And maybe even set a reminder on your phone in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, so there's still time to take action if you haven't done it yet. Just a reminder, you know, have you done something? It always makes me think of Heather Small. What have you done today to make yourself feel good? And that makes me think of Miranda, which is a long time ago, but that did always make me giggle. So think about, what have you done today to make yourself feel good? And if you haven't done something, maybe even when you watch this video now, it's not too late to do something. And maybe it's saying no to something that drains you or sucks the life out of you. Maybe it's going to bed half an hour earlier. That's what I'm going to do tonight, by the way. And maybe it's something like making a nourishing meal or a snack, or going for a walk in the fresh air. Whatever it is, do it without guilt. You deserve it. You owe it to yourself and to others. Because when you look after yourself first, you'll have energy, patience, and you're just a better, happier person. I hope you found this helpful, useful, maybe something to think about, a reminder. If you liked it, give me the thumbs up, maybe even subscribe to my channel. That'd be really exciting. So don't forget to set yourself one little action goal this week. I always encourage people to set one action for 1 week and make it really easy, so you do it, there's no resistance, you build consistency, and that's ultimately going to lead to long-term success. So what is the one thing that you're doing this week? So my thing definitely is going to bed on time. Let me know if you're interested in my crafty adventures. That might be a big word for what I'm up to. Then hang around. If not, then thank you so much for watching, and maybe see you again next week, or skip right to the end if you're interested in watching a bit of footage of the stuff that I've been up to this week. So if you're still here, then you do want to hear about my crafting. I have finished the body of my Lento jumper, which I am knitting in Konicke yarn. I think I've got do I actually have the yarn label here? Yeah, it's Koenigsegg, not Konicke. Koenigsegg. Does that show up in mirror image to you, or can you read that? I never know. Actually, I can just check that when I watch the video back myself, can't I? I don't need to ask you. And it's 100% superwash blue-faced Leicester wool, so it's not that sort of super soft merino. It is a bit rougher, but I quite like that. And actually, yeah, especially for jumpers, I like the more sort of rustic yarns. Really happy with it. I tried it on, and so I just have to do the sleeves, and it's got short rows in the back, so it is a little bit higher in the back, and this is what it looks like. Yeah, really can't wait to wear it. And yeah, it does feel, yeah, not like merino, but like I said, I quite like that. Now I've sort of compared it to my other Lento. So this is a Lento. I'll leave a link in the notes for the Ravelry pattern. I do miss the fact that it hasn't got the halo of the mohair that I used for the other one, the other Lento that I made, the pink one, and that has a lovely halo. But yeah, no, it's nice. I do really like it. So for the sleeves, I told you last week I bought short needles, which I have tried for socks, the little shorties, but I didn't have any bigger ones, and so this jumper is the body and the sleeves are knitted in needle 6mm needle, and the collar and the hem 4mm, and I only had the shorties in the very small 2.25mm size. So I wanted to buy one to try for the sleeve, so I don't have to do a magic loop. I don't mind doing magic loop, but it's just always pulling the cable through and making sure that you don't get the little ladder. So you need to always make sure that the first stitches are really tight. And I'm so glad that I bought the shorties. I didn't buy the Chagu. I do have Chagu needles for, I've got the big set, the exchangeable needles, and I love them. They're really sharp and the cables are really good. So I did look at the shorties that they do. They have the blue, the red and the yellow set, different sizes, but it was so expensive, and I didn't really need any needles, so I felt a little bit indulgent, and so I didn't buy those, and I ended up buying Knit Pro needles, and I've never tried Knit Pro needles, but I hear everyone's quite positive about them. So I read some reviews, and they have a collection called the Mindful Collection, and it's these pretty sort of fresh green coloured sets, and they have different names for the different types of needles, and this one's called Generosity, and that's the shorties for the slightly slightly thicker. It actually starts at 3mm, so it looks like that on the inside. It was £66 including delivery, £66 something, and yeah, the Chagu were much more expensive, and so the 6mm I'm using for the sleeves at the moment. So it's got 8 sets, 3mm, and it's got 3.5, 3 3/4, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6. So yeah, for most of the jumpers I make, that will be perfect. And then inside is a little pouch. So it's all super pretty, I think, and it's all, yeah, the theme with the mindful sets is that, you know, crafting is a mindful meditative thing to do. And I think the needles, even if I'm not mistaken, do they have mindful words on them, or am I making that up? My eyesight is shockingly bad. Yeah, it does. They do actually. I'm just taking one out, and this one says believe. Yeah, so on the side of the needle, it has a word on, and a different words for the different needles. So that's quite cute. Unnecessary, of course. Well, we don't need that, but I think it's a nice touch. And I do believe that crafting is a very mindful and really fits in this video this week with the self-care. It is definitely part of my self-care routine. So in this little pouch then, you've got the cables. So you've got 2 slightly longer ones, this size, so they're not that long. I should have probably told you how long they are, but I cannot remember. So you might have to look that up online. I'll leave a link. It's not an affiliate. I paid myself, and a slightly shorter one. But yeah, these are perfect. I started with the slightly longer one, but once I've done a few decreases in the sleeve, I will change it to the shorter one. I was thinking to change with the interchangeable cables. To change the cable, you actually have to put it on you have to put it on another cable and then back again, because you can't just take the cable out, can you? Yeah, I'll work that out. I'll use one of those plastic thingies, what they're called. You know the ones I mean, the ones you use for trying it on. This stuff, I got this one actually in Sustrainer Grainer. They sell it there as well. And if you're looking for the more thick of these, what are these called again? I bought some in Bath and they're called Knitter's Cords, they call them. These are the ones I bought at Wool in Bath. I showed you, but normally when you buy them, they're quite thin. Actually, well, they might be different. These are different sizes actually in this box, so that's quite cute. But this one is a Sustrainer Grainer is thicker. So if you need, this is perfect for the size 6 needles. So that's what I've been using. So in this little pouch, the little cable, so you get 2 of each of the 2 sizes. Then there's another little pouch in there with the pins to tighten the needles once you've got them on the cables, and needle stoppers. No, they're not needle stoppers. They you can put these on instead of the needles to stop the work from falling off the needles, off the cable rather. Then loads of marker, what do you call them? Markers. So we've got a lot of these little safety pin, plastic safety pins. Then these ones, the like an @ sign. So these you can also take off. And then the round ones that you just slide over the needles. It's got 2, I mean this is all a bit plasticky, but it looks quite sturdy. 2 needles to work away the loose ends. So yeah, really excited. I've only done a tiny little bit of the sleeve yet, so I've got them on here. But yeah, you can see it fits perfectly. And once I've reduced the stitches, I can use the smaller one. So these needles are saying peace. So yeah, they do all say something different for what it's worth. So you can see that when you're knitting, if your eyesight's better than mine. Right, so that was the Lento. Now with these needles, I definitely think that I'm going to go very quick. Oh, actually, I also had this, what do you call it, needle measure thingy. So really pleased with this, super pleased. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. God, where did I buy it? Wool Stack or Wool Shack? I'm not sure. I will put a link in. But you can buy them in other places as well, I'm sure. It'd be nice if you can support your local yarn store if they sell it. Then I was knitting, or I actually finished my socks. Let's do that first, finally. Did the other sock. Very happy with them. They're the Andrea Murray everyday DRK everyday socks. It's knit to purl to, and these are my favourite types of socks. I've got quite a few of this pattern, and I do want to sort of now start to knit slightly different socks, maybe have a change. I could also do with a few short socks because I wear a lot of trainers. So yeah, I definitely should do a different a different pattern and try that out. I still have to do the other collar work sock. Don't even know if I've got that lying around here. I may do. No, I think that's upstairs, but they're doing, I need to finish that one off, and I still need to do the other. Isn't that terrible when you have to make 2 and then you just make 1? And do you do that? Procrastinate with the second one? I know people sometimes do 2 at the same time, but these fingerless mittens, I only ever made 1, and I need to do the other one, and of course finish the ends up. But I really like these, and I do have to make the other one because it's now getting to that kind of weather where I might need them soon. Then I started started on the Stephen West mystery knit along. Is it a musical mystery knit along or something like that? And I don't know whether I was just being a bit hormonal and not in a good mood, but I got really irritated with it. It was on the first clue with the shells, with the welts, and I started on the first welt, and I just didn't enjoy it. To pick up the stitches to make that welt, it was such a faff, and I thought, why am I doing something that I'm not enjoying? That doesn't make any sense. Just because it's, you know, a lot of people do it, and it, you know, I enjoyed the Go-Go Dynamo last year, and I wear that as well. So yeah, I just sort of struggled on a little bit, and then I thought, nah, I'm not feeling it, and I just frogged it. Actually in such a temper that it's still sort of half frogged because it got all a bit knotted up. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you're just in a bit of a mood, and maybe if I go back to it at another point, then I might like it. But I was quite keen to start with the yarn that I bought in Bath last week, and it was the mini set. Oh, did I now leave the other colour? Oh no, it's here. It was that Manos del Uruguay mini set that I bought, this one, these sort of autumnal colours. And then I've got 100 grams skein of another Manos del Uruguay. This merino. These are slightly finer than this, but it doesn't really matter. Put them together, and I started on a crochet shawl, and really enjoying it. Although I've now sort of realised that, and it's a bit stupid that I didn't check that out before. Not quite sure how I'm going to wear the actual shawl. It's more like a one you wrap around you, which actually is quite nice when I'm working from home. But I think maybe it would be better if it was a little bit longer. It is the Marcula shawl, and I've got a picture here. Not in these colours, obviously. This is very bright colours on this picture, but as you can see, you wouldn't be able to wrap it around more than once, so you sort of have to wear it around the shoulders. I don't know if there's like another picture here that shows that. So that's another vibe. I do like chevrons. This is one in different colours, and yeah, I think those are most of the pictures. So I started with the yellow. So the yellow is going to be the main colour, which is the pink colour in this one, and then all the other colours in the one that I'm showing you will be the little minis. And I've made a start with the yellow, and so yeah, this is the length of it, and you can see, you can sort of wrap it around, but I don't think I can't wrap it around. This is what I would like to do, or maybe just about. We'll see. I'm still going to go ahead with it because I'm really enjoying it, and I just immediately, when I started doing it, felt that it was a good decision. That, you know, you should not force yourself to do stuff that you don't want to do unless you really have to. But I don't have to do the Stephen West mystery knit along. So yeah, really also enjoyed the fact that I can now just alternate this crochet project with the various knitting projects that I've got on the needles. It's always nice to mix it up a little bit. So that's the Marcula shawl. I will leave the link to the Ravelry pattern in the comments. Although I got it for free off, was it on Laughing Hens? The Laughing Hens website has it for free. I think it's also on Ravelry. So I think that was it. That was my my crafting. So my plan is to look for now, should I look for a sock pattern? No, I should really finish off those colourwork socks. I've got one done. Let's do that first. Finish off the Lento. That's the plan for this week. Yeah, so finish and continue crocheting on the shawl. That was it. Let me know what you're up to, and if you want, you can hang around for a little bit of footage at the end of this video about my week. It wasn't the most exciting week, but it was a good week. I enjoy my life, whether I go away and do exciting trips or whether I just stay at home. I'm not much of a traveller actually, and I do rather just, you know, live my regular life. I like my work. I like my house. I love my house. So it's all good, but I hope you I hope you don't find it too boring. If that's the thing, when you make these videos, then there's there's not a little bit of pressure. I put a little bit of pressure on myself to come up with, you know, things that are YouTube worthy, that you might find interesting. But yeah, it's just day-to-day stuff, and I find that interesting in other people, so hopefully you find that too. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week and look after yourself, and I might see you next week. Lots of love. Bye.